Hey. Don't know how good the Wi-Fi is, but we're gonna give it a go. What's up, YouTube? So this is Dale here from Zephyr Wargame, and bringing you another live stream. So we did attempt a live stream last week at locals, and now I'm going to test a live stream here at Hatfield. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to live stream test Endymions. So Endymion testing, basically. Bear me 2 seconds while I set up the camera properly. I've got Donald and Joe also here as well, so they want to kind of see how this works. So,
Do you want actual game or?
No, I'm just going to do a couple of test hands first, and then we'll build into an actual game. So I'm going to just try and set the board out, try it out, and then we're going to do a couple of test hands so you guys at home can see how this works. It's not pure, no, it's with, Donald's got pure, but like proper pure. This is with the Pendulum Magicians, just purely because, you know, the Pendulum Magicians add so much to the deck. It was pretty much a no-brainer to use and abuse the Pendulum Engine. But if you want to see pure test hands, Donald can do a pure version. Oh, hello. I can't bring you the deck profile yet, so this is only using proxies at the moment. Unfortunately, believe it or not, America got the decks a lot earlier than we did. So this is only with proxies of doing the test hands.
Oh yeah.
There you go, paper. Just so I don't get told off, basically. But what I can do is I will do test hands because we're live right now, just so I can interact with you guys a bit more. So you can help me out on a couple of the plays. We can work through the plays together as well. And then I can do a profile for you once I've perfected the deck. Because, I mean, at this moment in time, there's still a couple of cards in here that I'm questioning about. And a couple of cards I want to trial out. So we'll see how this test hand, like live test hand kind of goes. And first time being seen on the channel properly, we are going to be using our official Zephyr Wargames dice. So we're going to use those as spell counters. And you guys are going to want to be watching the opening of the Endymions, which comes out next week. And we'll also be doing the Endymion budget builds, as we always do. So we put 3 starter decks together and go from there. And then I'll also be doing like a pure power play. So after testing, I think Rob's working on a Mythical Beast, like Mythical Beast and then, of course, we're also Donald is gonna work on the pure, and then I'm working with the magician. In regards to the quality, this is being shot at 1080. It's just because of the latency with the Wi-Fi. So, you know, we're gonna give it a go. So, without further ado, I've yabbered on long enough. I'm gonna shuffle the deck. If there are any questions that you have while we're going through this, I didn't get it from Imperial Duelist. No, I got them done myself here in the UK. I can't remember the exact website off the top of my head, but I'll have a look at it for you. They do, like, the turnaround was really, really cool. And the dice came out amazingly well. So, like I said, keep your eyes out for the openings that we're going to be doing this week. You're not going to want to miss them, trust me. So, as you can see, I'm doing a very, very decent shuffle, cut. And this is pure, live, unedited test hands. Very, very risky because, as we all know with Yu-Gi-Oh, it can go wrong. So we'll do a couple of test hands. We'll see how it goes. The extra deck isn't fully built either. So the way we're going to work this as well, because it is only test hands, is if there are any kind of extra deck monsters that pop to mind that you guys think are a good option, we'll work through that. Anyway, so test hand of 5. So we'll go first. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really, really good. I was hoping, like, this one usually becomes the Time Gazer, which really, really screws you over. So, let's start this one off. Now, with a hand like this, it's always quite difficult because you really want to get into an Endymion first, which is why you mainly want to use spell power control. But the best thing with the Magical Citadel is very, very good as well. So, there's a lot of options you can go here. I'm personally going to go with playing the Citadel first. No hand traps in this build at all, no. I am working around what I want to put in. Please, I expect I get ashed with pot. To be honest, pot would be the last thing I do. So if my opponent has let me get to that point of getting to pot and not ashed me, then by all means, if I get ashed with pot, I've still got a lot of play. Like they can ash the chronograph, they can ash the spell power control. So they've got a lot of options. If you what I'll do is I'll play the cost. I'll show you the 2 cards that I could have drawn, and then I'll build the board being ashed by under pot if that's what you guys want. So we're now going to play the spell power control. This is probably the most optimum time to do it, because what you've got to remember is you can take the counters off of Citadel to use with your Endymion. So we play spell power control, and we're going to search ourselves out. Where are we? Servant of the Endymion. Just in case. To be fair, Pendulums get another card in Neostorm that lets you draw 2 cards, but you can't add cards for the rest of the turn. So not only do they have a Pendulum Call, a Desires, they now have this card as well, that as long as you do that last, your hand is going to be insane. And the best thing with the Endymion Magician build is you don't actually have to use your normal summon that easily, and even your Pendulum summon can come last, because this card is busted as hell. It's so good. Anyway, so we've played spell power control, so we get 1 token on the Citadel for playing spell power control, and then we get 1 more because spell power control gives it another token. Then we're going to play the Servant of the Endymion, and straight away this puts that onto 3 tokens. So our Servant of Endymion is now live. We're going to play our Chronograph in the scale, use Chronograph's effect to sack that one off, and that is going to give us our free summon of the turn. Now, this is where it gets... 4 counters on that. Joe's going to help me with that. This is where it gets a little bit tricky, because our board's not bad, right? Because at this moment in time, if we activate Desires and get ashed, we're in a bit of a sticky situation, because we would... Yeah. Joe's going to keep track of the counters, because it's going to go quite wild quite quickly. So, I mean, at this moment in time, this is all really, really good. Desires I would play now to extend my board, because we don't obviously have... We've got the high scale in Dragon Pit, but we don't have a lot to bring out. Worst case scenario, if we do get ashed on this, of course, you use the Servant, bring the Servant and the Endymion out, then you've got your Electromite there. So we're going to play with the Desires. I'm going to have to let this one go through on this one. So we're going to activate the Desires. Ash doesn't negate the activations. You'll still get your tokens or your counters, however you want to play them. And then we're going to use the Desires. I'll show you the exact 10 that I banish. I don't think I've shuffled since I've searched, so we're going to do a good old shuffle and a decent cut. Okay, so the 10 we're going to banish off of Desires is 1, 2, 3, not an issue. 4, 5, 6, it's fine. 7, 8, 9, that's okay. And 10. Oh, no. Okay, that Destrudo is probably the worst hit on the Desires. And the draws off Desires will be Cerberus and Harmonizing. Harmonizing is great. The Cerberus kind of sucks a little bit because I can't do a lot with him. But what I would do here, we haven't used our normal summon. We'll normal summon the Harmonizing. Link these guys, so Harmonizing and Time Gazer together. And go into Electromite, standard Electromite play. Effect goes off. Let's see what we've got left. I've already got the Harmonizing that I'm going to be adding back to hand. So whatever I put into the scale or into the extra there is what I'm going to want to summon out. So I could put in a 6. Let's put the Endymion in there because we want to get the boss monster on board. That's the whole idea of an Endymion. Joe's got to keep an eye on how many spells I use because I might forget. We're now going to activate the Cerberus. So that gives us 6 and 3. Yep. We'll use Electromite's effect to pop the Cerberus because it's not going to be doing anything for me right now. I'm going to add the Harmonizing back to hand. Shuffle and cut. Before I get the draw off of Electromite. Draw off Electromite. Black Fang, that's pretty cool. So at this moment in time, Ghost Ogre would be great. Oh, hello. I'm just trying to keep up with all the comments. Would Ignite Reload be good in this? Ash, Red Warning of the Brothers. Would Ignite Reload be good in this? It doesn't need it. It honestly doesn't need it. I've been testing it, Lilo, hit and miss because of the shuffle back. Sometimes you can get the same cards. Why don't you put Barrel Dragon in? That's a tasty card. You misplayed. What did I misplay? What did I miss? Come on, tell me. So Electromite would give me the pop. Trying to catch back up now. There you go. Dragon Pit is probably, well, to be fair, Black Fang's probably better in the scale. Go up to 4. Where are we? 4's there. This will go up to 7, so we'll put another one up there. And then we're going to pendulum out. I'm trying to keep an eye on the phone as well. I don't know. I'm waiting for the comment to come up. There we go. You can do Servant to get something out, then use Cerberus. Yeah, that's true. I like leaving Servant right to the last minute. So I like doing the pendulum summon and everything else. Build up my board, extend my board, get my negates on board, and then use Servant to extend the board further and finish off that last negate and the last synchro. I think the Endymions is insane. Really, really good kind of deck. I've been saying to the boys that, you know, it's the first deck that while playtesting, I've actually honestly felt, damn, I really might consider putting in Raspberry mode properly. You can end, if you get the perfect hand, you can end on 5 negates. And that's not including any hand traps that you have in hand. That is the perfect board though. On average, with Magicians, you're getting, you can get 2 to 3 easily on average. And they're all, sometimes they're generic negates, so like your Vortex, your Savage Dragon. Then of course you've got your Endymion, which does the spells and traps. You can also end on a Naruto as well if you want to. Okay, so we've done all of this. We've used our normal summon. We're going to Pendulum Summon now. We're going to go... Now, this is where I always mess up because it's always about the spacing. So we're going to bring out our Harmonizing, our Endymion, and our Chronograph. Do we want to bring the pit out? No, because you want to bring one off of this. It's whether you want to go balls deep or not. We're going to go balls deep. So we'll bring out the Dragon Pit, and then we'll use Harmonizing's effect, and if it's still in here, I might have banished it off of the Desires, which would have hurt. Yeah, I did. I don't think I've got any more Magician targets. It's a very light Magician target build. I will say that now. Yeah, I've got no targets left. Cry! No! Okay, that just happens. But if you've got a Oath Dragon, of course, what you can do is you bring the Oath Dragon down, and then you've got a Naruto, you've got a Vortex, and then, of course, you can use the Endymion to bring out another Endymion. So you'd have Naruto, Vortex here, then you'd have an Endymion somewhere as well, and then you could link higher as well if you wanted to. But that always how it works. Anyway, with this board, so we'll have to
do the time gaze now because then you can tune this.
Yeah, now that if I'd known I haven't got stuff, then yeah, I would bring out the time gazer because then that gives me another negate as well. So what we'll do is we'll overlay these guys here. Obviously, absolute, and then absolute and electromite go to the graves along with those, and we go into our Zephyr Metaltron, which I will bring out over here. Yeah, that's right. Sync these guys together because they both have to be Pendulum Magicians. That'll go there. Oh, I've missed the Vortex anyway, so Vortex would come out. Then you sync the 7. Now, if you're going second, you go into Arcanite. Arcanite's insane. So Arcanite, because it isn't once per turn, you just remove counters from ever. So quite straight away, 7 of Endymion, you can remove the counters from here or herself. It's entirely up to you. You might as well remove it from her. She will summon herself. Can we play one of the Magicians? What do you think of the Zephyr build of the deck? Pros and cons. I haven't looked at a proper Zephyr build yet, to be honest. So I can't comment too much on that one. And then the Endymion comes out. Endymion gets a token. And then 7 of Endymion gives herself another token. So she'll be on 2. And then you can kind of pass your board there. If you want to go a little bit further, you've got another rank 7 play if you want to, but you're losing 2 negates. But straight away, you're passing over to your opponent now. Now, unless they've got Raw Sphere mode, you've got a spell trap negation, and then anything negation. So they've got to do quite a lot to get past this. Plus, if they get rid of this, it's going into your scales. You can use the effects of this as well. The only thing that kind of makes this board better is if Chronograph was actually the Jackal. And then if this was another form of negation, so like a Savage Dragon. So that's just a little bit of extension, but this is, like I said, this was quite a standard little play, and you've got your Endymion that's got a lot of protection, and Endymion can bring this back to hand to do the negation, and then you've got your second scale to go off next turn, and then of course you've got Black Fang if you want to, and Black Fang can revive this Endymion grave because he is a dark. So that's it for the first test hand. It was a little bit long-winded, but I'm trying to explain and kind of answer your comments as we go. So all polite and play it goes. Hey, what's up in the ending? Deck list will be coming soon, don't worry. A pure build with Mythical Beast is quite good, Jerry. That's what Rob is working on as well. I don't play one of the... I play one... At this moment in this build... I play 1 purple, 1 Black Fang, 1 of the Dragon Pit, 1 of the triple Chronograph, triple Harmonizing, 1 Time Gazer, and 1 Oath Dragon. I have considered a couple of times of bringing Oath Dragon up, You know, oh yeah, Zephyr is a great deck. Like it was really, really good in Master Rule 3 because of the ability to do the additional pendulum summon, and I think that's just where the issues kind of hit it. Is that Master Rule 4 has really, really set that deck back. I love that, like the fact that it molded all the kind of archetypes together. So I got involved back into Yu-Gi-Oh during that format with BA, Satellas, Sudols, all of that, and that was a great format. I love that. So that's kind of where when Zephyrs came out, I was like, these are sick. Like I love the Tellarknight monsters in it, and then it had the Necros monsters in it as well, so it was all really cool. Anyway, so I'm going to shuffle all these up. We're going to need a proper shuffle with some of it all together. Madness outside again. Yeah, Blackfang. You know, I love Blackfang. I like purple poison as well. I really, really like that because anti-spell really messes this deck up. So I used to like purple because of the way it could pop, get past issues, and get past any kind of card. You can run it at 2, and like I said at the start of this video, so there's a lot I'm still trying to perfect in this deck. I love P-Call. I think P-Call is insanely good. I'm tempted to put Oath Dragon to 2 as well. It's just finding space. I've kept it as a 40 card deck at this moment in time, but I am looking at ways to either increase it, go over the 40 card limit, because you do play Desires, but it's just keeping that consistency going.
Pendulum decks play 60 cards.
Yeah. I mean,
You can viably go 60 cards.
There's an insane amount of cards out there that can fit into a pendulum deck. Anyway, so we'll do a second test down go first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wow, cool. This straight away, this is your card, right? So if you're playing up against Endymions, this is what you want to stop. Do not Ash it because it can still special summon itself. You want to ogre stuff like this. What have we got? I played a lot of Pendulum Magicians with adding 3 structure decks. Can I upgrade it to a competitive version, or should I stay on pure Pendulum Magicians? You can make Pendulum Magicians with this. So you've got your Pendulum Magicians. You add the Endymions into it. It's it's really, really easy. You're getting Desires in the Endymion deck as well. You're getting Drolls in the Endymion deck. So putting the 2 together, you'll be golden. Anyway, so we're going to activate the Servant of Endymion, and of course we've got the spell Power Control, so we're going to activate this as well. You can search the Citadel with this card as well. That's entirely up to you. I am going to go for Master Endymion because this is such an underrated card. This card is actually really, really good to help extend the boards if you can get there. So we're going to go with that. We're going to play the spell Power Graphs. So we get 1 for playing the spell, and then we get 1 additional from the spell Power Control. Now, you can risk it, and I probably am going to risk it right now, is I'm going to activate the Desires because what I want is I want to get a way of getting Darkworm and Destroyer to grave. That's the other part of the deck that you guys haven't seen yet, and that's what really, really would takes it to the next level. So there's another way of getting into Vortex, which can then lead into like Abyss and other stuff like that by abusing Darkworm, which is really, really cool. So I'm shuffling this all up. And then I'll show you again the banishes that I get for Desires. So I've activated Desires. That's giving my Endymion 3, so she's live already. And the 10 that we banish is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not too bad, actually. There's a glare coming up.
Yeah.
Camera in the main deck or side, or of course, if you have the room, before you can play Ash or Droll and save space consistently. To be honest, I would well, it's a while away, but when BLLR comes out, you get the Cyframe Link, which is two monsters. So that's insane. And then you can main deck Gamma all you like. Get 1 plot plus per. MST is fine. Twin Twisters is another good one as well. Heavy Storm Duster is also an option because on top of this, if you get hit with Imperial Order, it sucks so hard. Cerberus and Citadel. Okay, so it's not too bad, not great. Could have been a lot better. So if we play the Citadel, our Servant of Endymion will go up to 4. Actually, what we should have done first is keep that, play that, then play this. So then this goes up to 5. This will then get 1 as well. Okay. This is where the downside comes into it, because you're mixing the Pendulum Magicians with other engines. If you don't get that free summon on board without trying to avoid using the Servant of Endymion, it kind of sucks a little bit. But we're going to have to use the Servant of Endymion. She gets left with 1 token, and she will summon out an Endymion from deck. Now, I might have banished the other Endymion. I think I did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sad days. I don't think it can bring anything out then, can it? It can only bring out itself.
No, it's anything with 1,000 or more attack from your deck.
That you can put spell counters
Yeah,
on. Yeah,
so
sorry, my
Jackal
bad.
King.
Jackal. Yeah, cool. My bad. That's why we have Donald and Joe here. Test stands are always interesting when you've got multiple people. You see different things. So then Jackal comes out and Jackal gets a token. Woo! But Jackal needs 2 tokens to be operational in a sense. So we're going to sack these guys off. It's a bit of a waste. Nope, haven't normal jet. So we're going to Electromite. Electromite's effect. You want your harmonizing. I can't. In the Pendulum Magician deck, harmonizing is your most important card. You just have to keep track of what you've banished if you've played Desires and what you've got in hand, and so on. You've pretty much got everything else that you need in your hand and everywhere else. The only other thing you could put there was a Dart Worm, but there's, it's a bit more of an additional extension if you want to go Dart Worm. So we're going to shuffle that up. We're then going to play the Cerberus. Metaphors, Electromite's effect. You pop the Cerberus, give a token here, and 1 there. So Cerberus gets destroyed. We're going to add the Harmonizing back, and we're going to draw Oath Dragon. So that's pretty cool because that gives us an additional low scale to work around with as well as a level 6. So I'll put the purple poison in the scale, go up to 2, go up to 3. So our Master of Endymion, or Magister, sorry, is now live. Year of, to be fair, MST was being played in Sky Strikers as well for a time when they just wanted to turbo spells into the grave. So MST is still a great card. It's always going to be a fun card to play. And let's remember MST negates. Yeah. Okay, where was I? Pendulum Summoning. Right, what have I got? I've only got 2 in. I can't actually bring out the Servant of Endymion because you can only special summon her once per turn, and she's already been done. So we could go full ham from our hand. Let's go with Pendulum Summon 1, 2, put that over there, 3, and 4. Craziness outside, as you can probably hear. Okay, Harmonizing effect to go off. I should have a monster left. Yeah, I've got Zhanggi.
You got Black Fang as well.
Yeah, so if you want Savage Dragon, you go Black Fang. I think Vortex is just as important because it can shuffle back some of your resources. So we're going to overlay these guys into Vortex. Before we use Vortex to go away, overlay these guys as well for Norito. So what you do is you use Vortex with Electromite. I'll go to the grave. Bring out your Metatron on this side because then that unlocks another extra monster zone, and then Vortex comes out as well. Yeah, cool. Now what we want to do is you've got this live. This can bring 2 out as well, and it can bring out your Master Beast Cerberus. So you've got a nice little big booty boss monster on board. So we take away the 3 tokens from here, bring him out, and we bring out the Master Beast Cerberus there. Annoyingly, if this had another token on it, we could use his other effect to bring 1 from deck as well. So you'd have to find a way of linking these guys up to clear out some room, and then we'll link these 2 guys out of the way. Then you would bring out another one from deck. I don't think I've got anything I can use because that needs to use Pendulum Magicians as its other alternatives. You could go into the new Daybreaker. There's always a nice one, but that's more offensive. And then, of course, Triple Burst to clear everything off. Other than that, I think we're kind of spent on this one, unless you guys can see anything else. But it's still, again, very, very good. You've got the Vortex, you've got the Naruto, so you've got 2 negates on there. The only thing that would have been better is if we could bring out the Endymion. The main Endymion boss monster off of this. So that's just an option that you guys can kind of see and show you what you've got. You've got your 2 tokens on here. So Master Beast Cerberus can start filling them up, and as long as he survives, you can start popping stuff. And then if it gets destroyed, you've got the effect off of Zephyr Metatron to use it as well.
Wouldn't you be better if you just summoned a level 4 instead of going to Absolute? You get Savage, your Endymion, and keep your Master Jackal King, so you get 3 in the gates.
Yeah. Plenty of options to work around.
And Jackal King prevents, in its own unique way, spellcast from being activated because they don't want
to give you counters. Yeah. I mean, that's the other way as well. You got to look at it is you've got to try and read your opponent. The worst kind of thing for a deck like this is evenly matched and any kind of like multiple tribute. So A Kaiju's not that bad because you usually got 3 negates on board, but anything like a sphere mode, maybe even a lava golem sometimes, can really, really bone you. Anyway, we're now going to go second. Trading, bro, trading. Right, we're now going to go second, so we're going to show you what the extra card can do and how aggressive we can be. Now, the deck can actually be insanely aggressive. Clear boards and OTK as well. Chucking that Utopia double for good measure. Anyway, all right.
Cool tech.
Shuffle, cut, and our 6 cards will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Apparently, I'm playing Endymions. 5, 6.
You're really playing Endymions.
What is this?
Is it once per turn?
Yeah, it is once per turn. If it wasn't once per turn, it would be insane. Okay, so we're going to have to activate the Servant. Then we're going to activate the Spell Power Control. Move those out of the way. 1 goes there, and then it'll get a second one because of that. At least next turn, if I activate a Spell Control, I'm going to be adding more spell counters. What do I want? Do I want the Field Spell, or do I want the Magister? Magister gives me 3 there. Let's go Magister. Let's see if we can build this up. So the Magister goes 3 on that one. Then we'll have to use her effect here. Bring herself down, gives ourselves a token, and then we'll bring out the Jackal. Wow, people are really having fun outside. So we'll bring out the Jackal. Jackal, of course, gets 1 as well. Ignite reload. Yeah. You're saying go for the field spell. The field spell would have put Sorcerer Supreme in there, but it would have started gaining tokens. Anyway, we're going to link these guys together because that's what we do in a Pendulum deck. You go straight into Electromite, and then Electromite can unlock our Magician engine of the deck by putting Harmonizing straight in there for us.
Which is all you need.
It is all you need. I'm going to... Now, I can risk it. I can play the Servant of Endymion to pop it, but it's really not worth risking it. So I'm going to shuffle and cut, and I'm going to play the Founding Sorcerer. That will then give a counter there. We use Electromite's effect to pop this, adding back Harmonizing, and then triggering the effect to draw 1. And we're going to Dragon Pit, not bad. Then we're going to play the Servant, so that gives us that guarantees our lower scale. This then goes up to 2 tokens. And then we're going to Pendulum Summon. So we're going to Pendulum Summon 1, 2. I'm going to move those around. There we go. Do I want to move? Yeah, I want to move them around. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to use Harmonizing's effect to bring out Black Fang. Now, this one's actually pretty good.
You got 3 negates.
3 negates on board, yeah. From a relatively bad hand. And I've got these for next turn. So what we want to do, where are we? We want to overlay these guys. I need another spell for that, really. Anyway, we'd overlay these guys into Absolute, and then Absolute into Electron. I think it's only 2 negates because I haven't got, unless they give me a spell count on that one. Going to Metaltron, and then Metaltron will give us Vortex.
Which bounces a card, so we're going second.
Yeah, good point. I forgot we was going second. So let's go and attack then. Cool. That will bounce a card. And then I'm going to go into Savage Dragon. That gets banished. Savage Dragon is going to have Electromite with 2 negs. There we go. I really need another spell. It's so depressing. I need another. Can my opponent activate a spell during their turn? No. Because I mean, if our opponent activated a spell during their turn, disregard the 3, you would then extend your board. But actually, we couldn't because I haven't got a spell counter monster in there. I'd have to get Jackal in the extra. Anyway, regardless, I've bounced. I've got 2 negates on board, so they can't go any further.
Negate. You can bounce. You use those counters.
Use the counters of this.
Yeah, Jackal King can use it from anywhere on your side of the field.
Yeah, from your field. Oh, fair.
So you can, it's a monster negate, and negate.
Sweet. And then I'm swinging in for 3k, 2, 4, 2, 5, and 2, 5 there. Which, yeah, if it's an open board, that's game.
That's 3,
add monster figure, So I can target 1 monster in either place field, especially something from the extra deck, except this card, banish them until the end of the turn. So I could, if I wanted to, banish the Jackal and banish a monster, depending on what if my opponent's got like a Borrow Load or something that can be targeted, then you could do that, but then you've got your negations on there anyway. That, of course, is 3-6. Is it 3-6? No, it's more than that. It's 3-9. It's 18.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
3-9.
I thought it was 12.
So you got a bit of damage going on in there. Cool. But like I said, that's from a very, very bad hand. And if you're able to hold on to that, your opponent's got to play through. The Vortex still, if we've negated one, we'll still have another negate. And then, of course, Savage will have a negate as well. So they've still got to play through quite a bit.
Imagine if it was spell counters and
So
Savage instead of 4 counters.
What I like to do is I like playing. Where are you? Scarlight, Red Dragon Archfiend. Purely because in that one where you got Savage Dragon, you can make Scarlight instead. So you'd make Scarlight, attack with Scarlight for the damage, and then in main phase 2, if you haven't done enough to kill your opponent, you go Scarlight and you nuke your own board and whatever's left of their board, and 9 times out of 10 you've got game. Or plus Scarlight gives you a way of winning in time, and that's what I think this game kind of lacks right now. Is you need the ability to win in time. If you can't win in time with a deck during the main phase, because that's probably where you're going to be locked into, then you're already at a mega disadvantage if you do play like a slow play player or something like that. Anyway, so this will be our last test hand going second. And then if you guys have any questions, chuck them up before we go. I'll answer those questions as well and do what we can for you. So we'll shuffle this up. And our final cut. And our last test hand of 6 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, that's pretty good.
Wow.
You always play Servant first. It's such a good card. We'll play Servant, then we'll play Citadel. So then that one gets one on there. See, every time I say Citadel, I just think of Rick and Morty. It's the Citadel of Rick and Morty. Play Spell Power Control. This game, you're never going to be able to play it the same now. You're just going to think it's the Citadel of Rick and Morty. Citadel of Ricks. We're going to search out our Endymion boss monster. Don't want to search how we're doing no. I don't know why. I keep getting attracted to the Magister. It's just, I don't know. There we go. So we'll shuffle that up. Spell card, that goes there. Activate this. This gives us 2. This goes up to 3. Yay, it's
You could
live.
place an additional one from spell count.
I did, didn't I? Or did I miss one?
You missed one.
We'll put it on here because then both of them got 3.
Activate. So yeah, so that's got 3. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you give the additional to that, so that's got the 1.
Mm.
Sweet. I'm gonna play Desires. I've done most of my searching. The only thing that will make this better is if I get like a Foolish Burial or a free summon. Basically, the only thing that would suck if I get a Chronograph, because I put that in the scale. Anyway, I could, to be fair, I could hold it off in the scale, then play Desires. That would have been a smart play. Anyway, so our 10 will be 1, 2, 3. Oh, mate, the Servant is so good. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, we've lost one way of getting... We've lost all our chronographs. What the hell? And we've lost one way of getting Dark One to the grave. So, Dragon Shrine. P-Call, though. God damn! P-Call's insane. Obviously, you want to Electromite first before you P-Call. So, we'll remove the 3 tokens from the Servant of Endymion, bring ourselves out, and bring out our Master. I suppose that's the other gamble, is if I banish both the Masters. Cry. There you go. So, I've only got the 1 Master. It's fine. I'll try and bring it back after that. So they'll both have a counter. Doesn't really matter because we're gonna. I could use my normal summon. Keep him on board. I'll use my P-Call. I'll tell you what then. I'll bring him far right. That in the center. I'll use up my normal summon of Time Gazer. We'll link those off just so I can keep that. You're the one keeping track, not me, man. Electromite's effect. Now we haven't got harmonizing, so that is the one we do want to get to the extra deck. So we'll put that over there, the extra deck. And now we need to put something in the scale to sack off, which is fine because we can currently only summon 1 card from our extra deck. So we will put Jackal in there. We'll use Electromite's effect. So I've played Jackal. 1 on there. This goes up to 4. Does that get one? No, it doesn't get one. Doesn't gain one. No, it doesn't gain. It only gains when it bounces the card back. That's the way it works. So Electromite to pop Jackal, add back Harmonizing, draw 1 card.
Get rid of
Couldn't have got that ages ago. No, I need to get rid of both of them. This is actually fine because I can send a Shrewdo. Yeah. So Dragon Shrine. If I didn't banish it, I don't think I banished it. There we go. Send a Shrewdo. Extensions, yay, for half my life points. I've got to remember that I'm going second this time as well. So another token here, another token there. I need to get what I've got in my extra deck. I can bring back Jackal King off of this if I wanted to as well. Low scale. No, I'm not going to low scale Zhangyi. I'm going to P-Call my harmonizing. Because I can search harmonizing back out. Harmonizing, and I've got to make sure I've got enough magicians. Yeah, I've got level 4. So I'll take Oath because I want the low scale. Yeah, cool. Then we're going to play Oath in the scale. Yay! More counters. Boom. Boom. Oath into the scale. Pendulum summon. 1, 2, 3. We're going to keep Zhang in hand. And we're going to bring out... There's method to the madness.
Do you want that one over here and that one there?
No, because I'm about to destroy my opponent's board.
Ooh, okay.
Sink.
Black Rose.
Black Rose. Ah, no! It is pretty much Black Rose. This card is mental. So I've got 2 tokens. If I wanted to, I have the ability to pop 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 cards my opponent controls. I'm obviously not going to pop 14 cards my opponent controls, because for them to have that, they would need to have a full back row. Not even, like, they can't have 14 cards. Anyway.
4 of their cards cannot be destroyed by cards. That's one special.
Exactly.
Yeah, they could have extra link today.
Oh, yes.
And it's like one card got me destroyed.
And the best thing is, he's a level 7, so once you've abused his effect, you can sack him off for rank 7 as well.
Nice.
So, and we still have this effect to use. So what we'll do is we'll sack him off. We'll use off these 2 tokens he's got here.
We'll make his buster mode.
Yeah, we're going to remove 1 from here because it doesn't really need it. So it goes down to 3, and then we'll use 1 from here. So we've nuked 4 cards our opponent controls. If they've got more than 4 cards, of course, I would nuke more than 4. We'll then overlay Dragon Pit and Arcane into Odd Eyes, and then we'll link those off.
Is it a Dark Spellbuster as well?
What?
Who?
Okay.
No, Arcane's a light.
I was going to say.
Yeah, that would be insane. Vortex would bounce any card that I've left my opponent with if I want it to. So you'd use Arcane to deal with a back row and then leave 1 if you think your Vortex is going to go through. Then we've got Master or Magister of Endymion. I'm going to remove 3 counters from him. He'll go there. And then he's got to summon 1 from his extra deck. We put counters on. No! I haven't got anything that I can put counters on. I've already summoned it. You can only summon it once. So I need to get one of these 2 in there. Which is doable if I wanted to. Because he can actually give me a lot more, I think. Unless I banished it. Or got rid of it. Yeah, I banished it. Because ideally what you can do is you can bring out Magister of Endymion, bring out a card that can have spell counters on it. Then you can use the effect of Citadel to remove 3 counters from there, and you can summon another 1 from deck. So you can end up with having like 2 of these guys on board.
Someone mentioned using Super Poly and Quintet as a side deck option against this deck.
You're goddamn right. It will be more than fun. Trust me, more than fun. And just join in. Is there a profile? I'll tell you what, right? I'll do a sneak peek of the profile at the end, but bear in mind the profile is not perfected, okay? Doris Alliance, no. Pendulum Call, yes. Paradox, unless Paradox is the new card, like the new spell card that we get is a normal spell card that we get to draw 2 cards. That's insane.
No, it's an old card to add.
From something like cannot use Citadel. As far as I know, you can use the Citadel counters whenever. Each time a spell card is activated, place 1 spell. You can remove 3 spell counters from this card, and then Citadel states if you would activate a card effect by removing spell counters from your field, you can remove that many spell counters from this card instead. So, from my understanding, that's absolutely fine. You would take them off the Citadel instead of the Endymion. Where was I? To be fair, that's still a pretty powerful board, and I've still got this that I can sack off and use.
You did nuke the board with it.
Yeah, I've nuked it with Arcane, so game.
The only thing you could have done is instead of pendulum that, you pendulum this instead.
There's
that
no
way this
problem.
gives you that.
Paradox is the one which returns 2 pendulum cards, the same scale from your extra turn.
Pendulum paradox. That's
Yeah. I don't think it's needed. I think once we get the new card, can one of you guys look it up? It's an OCG import we've got, and I'm trying to remember the name of it. But once we get that, you won't have enough in your extra deck to be adding back to your hand. You want your deck to be 80% pendulum monsters, maybe even higher. Like, you just want so much in there. It's crazy. So I won't do. Been trying to test this with DM. Oh, mate, trust me. Was that Pendulum Halt?
Pendulum Halt.
Pendulum Halt, yeah, Pendulum Halt.
3 or more face-up pendulum monsters with different names in your extra deck, draw 2 cards. Also, versus after the effect results, you cannot add cards.
Yeah,
It's
so
a pendulum
Halt's
card,
pretty
so you
good.
can search it.
DM, yeah, I'd love to. I did a Dark Magician, Pendulum Magician build, but it just works so much more with Pendulum Magicians than it does. The Endymions could work quite well because they can help extend, and obviously with Dark Magicians you play a hell of a lot of spells. But that's something I'll need to look into. But yeah, okay. So I'm not going to order this for you because I will be doing you a proper profile. But this is a sneak peek. I haven't even announced it. Donald's got his pure one right over the side here. So I'm just going to try and organize it in front of you. You can get a quick snapshot of it and go from there. But, we've got the Citadel, quite straightforward on that. Spell power graph on that. Jackal, Founding Sorcerer. There you go, another Citadel there. 1 Magistar. I'm tempted to bump this up. Counter Exodia. I'm pretty sure Chris would want to do that with Counter Exodia. So I've got 1 Magister of Endymion. I'll play 1 Jangi. I've only just put the Jangi in, so I'm still testing that. 1 Ice Dragon, obviously 1 Garnet. Time Gazer sucks. Harmonizing, Servant, Mythical Beast, of course. I only played double Jackal because obviously you get the combo start off with Cerberus, and there's so many ways of searching it. Getting into the grave, you don't really want it in your hand. Getting into the extra, you don't want it in your hand. 1 Black Fang. 1 Supreme Gate 0. There you go. There's a second Harmonizing. Peekle. So good. 2 Dark Worms. 2 Desires. There's another Endymion there. Second Master Cerberus there. Servant. Best card in the deck. Third Cerberus there. Chronograph. 1 Destrudo. 1 Dragon Pit. There's the third Power Spellgraph. Double Desires. Don't want 3 of that, really. Dragon Shrine. I'm tempted to put Dragon Shrine up to 3 because Dark Worm is so important and so powerful that it can actually do quite a lot for you alongside the Destrudo. So 1 Purple Poison, 1 Terraforming with 2 Citadels. There's the second Dragon Shrine, second Peekle, third Chronograph, and the third Harmonizing. So yeah, I'd probably be tempted to put Dragon Shrine up to 3.
Why don't you just up Dark Worm to 3? Just normal, or pendulum.
Yeah, but you want it from the grave, really. Like, it's a fair argument. I mean, the scale sucks because it's a 5. It doesn't actually aid you in any way.
Terraforming.
What? Terraform is not useless. You use Terraform and you get an additional counter. You then play the Citadel, you get another counter. It's a nice way of counter climbing. I don't know if it's common. I don't know. I'm not sure. It could be a super. If it's super,
It's
then
common.
Is it a common?
Yeah, well, from the American one, it's
common. Yeah, it should be a common. It's a shame.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, spell power does search it, which is absolutely fine. But the terraforming, if you don't open up the spell power, you activate the terraforming to get it anyway, and then it means you can use your spell power to search out your Magister, your Supreme, and your Servant. So it saves you a bit of searching. It's only the 1 terraforming. By all means, like you build the deck how you wish and how you personally prefer. I just think at 1 it works quite nicely. It just gives you an alternative and an additional spell to move up. I'll quickly go through the extra deck. Like I said, the extra deck isn't complete. There's still a lot that you can go around with it. But we've got the Arcanine. Pokemon. No deck bling. No deck bling. Dawn Dragusa. So they're your level 7s. Level 8s, Scarlight and Savage Dragon. Quite straightforward on those ones. What else have I got in here? 1 Vortex, 1 Absolute, 1 Norito. And then, of course, for your links, you've got the 1 Zephyr Metaltron, Electromite, standard. And then I've got the one Daybreaker. This is just another alternative. So there were a couple of times I was like, I need Link 2. I'm tempted to put in Lanthorlincus in here as well. And then we've got a Guard Dragon combo, or the Guard Dragon engine, which is LP, Agapane, and Triple Burst. Now, the way this works together is you turn your Dark Worm into LP. You turn any monster with your Electromite into Triple Burst. You then bring out your Destrudo. You use Destrudo and Triple Burst to go into Agapane. You then use Agapane to bring out Vortex. I'm considering putting in like Bane or another dragon that I can bring out with Agapane, because I can actually naturally make this sometimes as well on top of what I bring out with Agapane. So it does give you another alternative. So you then bring out Vortex. You've still got the Destrudo Engrave as well. So you would link these two guys together. That then gives you your Zephyr Metaltron.
You can't.
Why not?
Because while
you can only go into dragons. Good point. There you go. So, what's that?
The Hieratic Seal. That gives you a free bounce.
Yeah, I can go into Hieratic Seal.
Meteor Burst or the Synchro.
It's difficult because you shouldn't need to use it for the extension. When you make your level 7 Synchro, you should be going aggression to clear the board, or you should be going for an additional negation or defensive play. Meteor Burst is absolutely fine to extend the board, but you, like I said, you shouldn't need to be able to extend your board that much further. By that point, when you've got one of these on board, you should have the ability to play one of the servants out and extend from there. So, but yeah, the deck definitely still needs a little bit of work. This is just like an advanced preview with proxies. We couldn't let, so we couldn't let some of the Yu-Gi tubers out there get too far ahead of us now, could we? So we had to do what we could. Anyway, that is it for the Magician build. Donald will quickly blitz through. We don't want to do this as a full profile, but he'll just quickly blitz through his pure version. Now, this is pure. This is more fun. It's got less power plays, but it's still very good.
It's ideal. It's basically a homage to, if we all remember, the good old Endymion Master Magician. And this is the deck that basically improved it completely from what it was. We all so in my build I go with the 3 Magister because it's still a boss monster. I played the one Reflection because she is nice to have in as a low scale for the deck. And obviously you have your 3 Servant and 3 Magister. Now for me, this is like my key scales to use, so we don't have any of the Magicians. And yes, I'm playing the Mythical Beast because this is your one the basic counterpart to your negation with these two on board. So that's why I play 3 Jackal King rather than Cerberus at 3. And gotta go with fun text. Defender is always a nice little option for defending, basically mass protection your board in event of mass destruction. And obviously Breaker is for your spell and trap removal. Exemplar is your special summon from your deck, and Abductor is to help you gain what you need to have in hand. 2 Terraforming and 2 does is obviously to get you to your field spells as much as possible without relying on spell power control or spell power mastery. And I played the 3 spell power grass, which increases the number of counters that you can put onto your deck. Fun tech. If any of us remember this funny card as Power Guardians, getting spell counters when you attack is just so funny to have. Yes, 2 MSTs. These were supposed to be Twin Twisters, but your discard fodder is not exactly great. Yeah. Run Raigeki Monster Reborn now. Monster Reborn teched out. Raigeki is so much. And last but not least, Triple Medallion, Ice Bat, and Geomancer. This is only for Arcanite Magician. Back in the day, I played this, having to dead draw it or summon it with Magician's Circle, because it was the one like level 3 generic spellcaster tuner that didn't have any much problems with it. But yeah, this is my considered favorite tech for the deck, just to make into Arcanite Magician. But yeah, that's it for the main deck. The extra deck I haven't got on me, but yeah, it's pretty much very standard and very low key. Always playing your 1 Arcanite and your Daybreaker, and everything else is very purely up to how you want to play it. So yeah, that's just a quick blitz through, but I can settle down for a quick proper deck profile for you guys.
We've got about, well, we can probably get away with 1 round. Is there any type of matchup that you guys at home want to see the Endymions play up against? We haven't got everything here, but if you can ping us a couple of matchups, we can give you a sneak peek. Or Donald does have Fortune Ladies as well with the new support. So that he loves his Fortune Ladies so much.
Oh, actually, it was originally my brother's deck. I played it. But
Sentimental.
I overtook it after he left the game.
Why no traps with the ZW, Joe? You're here. For the ZW deck you made, why no traps?
Oh.
You want to see it against Light Swans? God damn!
I got the ZWs.
Yeah, no, he wants to know why no traps.
Oh, why no traps? Because you're an OTK turbo deck, so you don't really want to play any traps.
Except for Red Reaver.
Yeah, your traps are dedicated to your side deck if you're taking it to your events. So yeah, as Donald said, your Red Reboots. What other traps you want to play? Like Solemn Brigades, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of the main deck, you use Tense wants to go second. Hope to go second, so a lot of decks want to go first nowadays. And you use OTK.
Yeah, Proxy playing the new all sort of Fortune Lady stuff. And
I mean, I can't guarantee how Light Swans will fare against Endymions. The issue we've got here is I've got both, and I don't know if any of the other two know how to play Endymion Magicians. We could do pure Endymions against Light Swans if you want to see that. I mean, Donald can play his
play my build.
Play his
Fun build. No negation. Not much negation, but it's
no negation. What's the point?
We have fun with Yugioh. I
to be fair, I honestly think that with the Endymion Magicians or anything with the Endymions can get multiple negates on board, Light Swans kind of lose. Because
of the dice format, really.
Yeah, the Endymions are quite consistent in building a negate board.
What's Salomon Gates?
Nah, Salomon Gates, you just go Denko, deal with it. Which, funny enough, because I don't need to use my normal summon in this can actually run with ease. It just goes Denko, cool. I'm going to continue my board build and off I go.
Assuming you summon Dark One first.
Yeah, you get your Dark One.
You summon your Dark One from grave.
You don't need Dark One. If you can play spells without worrying, you'll be fine. I think that was something that someone looked into, was playing Called by the Grave as well. But hard trats is good if you want. Sorry, if you want the build to be like made to go second, then going up from there. If you guys have any other questions revolving around the Endymion deck, like how to beat, I can go through like how you beat it as well, like or not how to beat it indefinitely, but stuff to target. Like I said, Servant Endymion is actually incredibly important. So if you can stop this going off, it's great. Don't ash it when it uses effect because it can only be special summoned once per turn. It doesn't mean that it can only use its effect once per turn. So it loses the counters. But if it has a way of building those counters back up, it can just use its effect again, and the ash is technically wasted. I suppose ash is always good when they put Cerberus in the scale, because they put the Cerberus in the scale, you ash them, they're locked in a 4 scale, so they now need to find an additional way of building their board out to get into an Electromite to get rid of the Cerberus in order to do more things.
Obviously, if you stop the Electromite.
Yeah, Electromite you always want to aggro because that causes them so many issues. They still have a way to build a board with just Pendulum Monsters, but it stops them having... I think they can only get up to 2 negates at best.
Isn't there extra zones?
Yeah. Or you use a new hand trap and say, that can't be used as link material. Get dunked on. Anyway.
Yeah, anti-spell and Imperial Order is always your go-to against that deck. So you're going to have to...
that's only going second though, that's the issue, isn't it?
Yeah, and against going second, you obviously need the whole like Kaiju or Rasphere mode.
Rasphere mode, Kaiju just aren't good enough, I'm afraid.
You need to have that.
Draw and Lock.
Draw and Lock is a good...
Yeah, they search and add quite a lot. Yeah, Draw and Lock can really hurt it.
Otherwise, yeah, if you're going first, like the best cards to use is anti-spell and Imperial Order. Otherwise, you can flip the whole like.
So if you're Altergeist and you win the dice roll, you're doing good. If you're anyone else and you win the dice roll, I'm trying to think against how can Salomon Greats go?
They flip goes and match.
There can only be one. Is really good.
There can
only be one. Is really good. It's only good during the early game. because it sucks once they get because they can start pumping out their different stuff.
A worm, a dragon,
yeah,
a machine.
So that's where Gozen will Gozen can hurt them a little bit as well, but that's also where rivalry comes in. But you got to make sure that they don't have any of the negates on board when you pull that, because it'll just lose them a token. It won't really stop them. So their monster have multiple negates. That's the crazy thing about it. So
I think a good question actually for the chat is Vast Spear mode.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going for now.
It's very rare that I've seen.
Spear mode.
It's rare that I've seen a board with Endymions end with less than 3 monsters, and it's so they'll have multiple negates. They'll definitely have 2 to 3 negates on board. So straight away you want Raw Sphere mode. Then it's very rare that they would end with anything less than 3 monsters. So your Raw Sphere mode is even more consistent. It just means you have to play Raw Sphere mode and open up with Raw Sphere mode. But because the issue with this is if they go first, they will build their board. They will kill you the next turn. So if you do not open up Raw Sphere mode or have a way to get to Raw Sphere mode without your opponent negating your stuff, then I would advise, in my opinion, right, if you're playing a game and you...
True name. It's true name. It's true name.
I'll just summon Ra then. That's where I start
if you're playing up against this and you lost the dice roll, these guys choose to go first. If you have, and your opponent doesn't know what you're playing, and you don't have anything to break their board, scoop, because then they're at a disadvantage, because then you get to go first. You stun them out during their turn. They don't know what you're playing, so they don't know what to side against you. They'll only side in generic back row hex, so they'll side in ways of getting past Imperial Order, getting past anti-spell and stuff like that. So you need to then, use your additional knowledge to kind of play around that. So that would be my advice on that. I definitely think people are going to play this. It's an incredibly powerful deck. It has a good matchup against most of the common decks. Like Sky Strikers really, really struggle against this deck because you let them play whatever spells they want to gain your tokens, and then you can start negating their stuff off the bat. And especially with the
90% of their deck gives you tokens.
Yay, more counters. What we did learn, or what we do believe, is Endymion. If you're in an Endymion matchup and the Citadel is in play, for example, if I've got Citadel in play and my opponent doesn't, and I start nuking my opponent's board with their tokens on it, my Citadel gains those tokens. So that's always good. Anyway, so that is nearly an hour of pure live stream Yu-Gi-Oh madness around Endymion. So both test building, or test hands, and deck profiles. I believe this video will then encode up. Yeah, it is pretty much an all win against Sky Strikers. They can't do a lot. They can't get past your big boss monster either because it can't be targeted, and then it bounces stuff. And if they try, I don't know how they beat it by battle, but if they try to beat it by battle, I suppose the only way a Sky Striker player wins against this deck is they go, okay,
attack directly, time, game.
Yeah, exactly. Thinking, okay, I'm going to play this one card. Okay, I'm going to think for another 5 minutes. I'm going to play this other card. Okay, I'm going to think for another 5 minutes. Okay, I've fought for a total of 39 minutes and 30 seconds. Make Hayate, battle phase, cry. Yeah. And they're still around. They're still a thing. And now they have ulti Hayate. Like, what, bro?
So they're not going to get hit.
Colossus is still quite good against Pendulum Magicians, but even then, like, they don't worry about it too much. That's something I always found, is that the Pendulum Magicians don't have to add to do anything. With the Endymions, they have to add a lot more, but... The Pendulum Magician can kind of save you a little bit more on that sense. And there are a couple times where you'll play pure Endymions and you need the Electromite to unlock the Magician engine of the deck, or you'll be playing pure Magicians and you need the Electromite to unlock the Endymion side of the deck. So that is the risk of the combination. But like I said, whatever works for you guys, play it around. We've got 3 different versions, or 4 if you include the budget version as well. I will continue to work on this. To kind of see how to change it up. If I like trying to keep the decks at 40 unless Grass is Greener comes back, even though it's less so for Pendulums, still an option. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoy the live streams. I know some of you guys like the stream we did at the locals the other week, so if you like those, of course, put big thumbs up, comment, like, subscribe, share, the whole 9 yards, and then of course we'll do more live streams where we can for you. Watch out for next week where we'll be doing, obviously, proper Endymion deck builds, proper Endymion openings, budget builds, anything like that. If you do have any questions, put them in the comments down below. We'll be more than happy to answer them for you. And from all of us here at Zephyr, have a very, very good Easter break. I'm probably going to just sleep and sleep and sleep. Chocolate. Easter eggs. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. All of you that watch live, thank you very, very much. If you do watch this back as pre-recorded, thank you for watching as well. Like, comment, subscribe, share. And as always, guys,
Happy dueling!